This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, it's your favorite time of the week. Again, two favorite times of the week this week. Imponderables on Parshas Bechukosai. Number one, the pasuk says, "V'hisig lachem dayish es batzir uvatzir yasig ezara." Rashi says there'll be so much dayish, there'll be so much threshing that it will last until the planting season. And then it says, "Va'achaltem lachmechem lasoiva," you'll eat a little bit, and you'll be satiated. You'll eat a little bit, and you'll be satiated. I have one simple question. If there's so much dayish, so why do you have to eat a little bit? Why can't you eat a lot? You only need to eat a little bit if you only have a little bit. But if the first part of the pasuk is saying, number one, you'll have a lot, and then you'll eat a little bit, and it will last in your innards. Well, if you'll be able to eat a little and last in your, so you could ask it both ways. If you have a lot, so why do you only need to eat a little? Why are you only eating a little bit? Elamai, you say you're on a diet. Okay, you could be on a diet. So then why do we need the bracha of meruba? I mean, it's like self-contradictory. Well, first the pasuk says you'll have a lot, and then it says you'll eat a little bit and you'll be satisfied. Next question. The pasuk says, "V'nasati shalom ba'aretz." And the next pasuk is, "Uradaftem esoyevechem." I'll give you peace, and you'll pursue your enemy. Wow, that's wonderful peace. If Hashem's going to give us peace, then what do we need after? What enemies? Why do we have enemies? How does the pasuk say that I'm going to give you peace, and then you're going to pursue your enemies? What kind of enemies are there? If you have peace, you don't have enemies. Then the pasuk says, I'm going to give you peace, and it's going to rain, and you're going to have a lot of crops. V'his halachti b'soichechem. Hashem says, I'm going to stroll with you. Rashi says, Atayil imachem began Eden. I'm going to stroll with you in the Garden of Eden. Where's that? In the next world? Who said anything about the next world? Why are we even mentioning that? Where does that come in? We're talking about all the blessings of this world, of rain, of produce, of resources, and then Hashem says, I'm going to stroll with you in Gan Eden. Gan Eden Madoch Hashmei. Who said anything about Gan Eden? What does that have to do with anything? Okay, you ready for this one? I will lead you erect. Rashi says, you're not going to slouch. You know, people who are tracht and they're all immersed in their own sorrows and they're all downtrodden. They walk, all bent over. No, you're going to walk straight, proud, confident. Question. Hashem already promised that like a few psukim earlier on the pasuk, V'her beisi eschem. Rashi just said, B'koima zekufa. So why again B'koima zekufa? And B'chlal, where do we see in the words V'her beisi eschem that means B'koima zekufa? V'her beisi eschem means I'm going to make you numerous, I'm going to make you a lot. Where does B'koima zekufa come in? How does that have? How could that be interpreted? Koima zekufa. How could V'her beisi eschem be interpreted as Koima zekufa? Okay, this is the best question of the day. You ready? The pasuk says, "I'm going to send plague, and I'm going to give you in the hands of your enemies." Says Rashi, how will a plague deliver you in the hands of your enemies? Because if there's plague, people are going to die. Rashi says, "Lefi she'ein malinim es hames b'Yerushalayim." You're not to leave a body just hanging around in Yerushalayim overnight. So you're going to have to take the body out of the city to bury. Oh, and the enemy's going to be waiting there. Gotcha. There's going to be plague. You're going to have to take the body out. And I take the body out, the enemy will be waiting there. I have one simple question. Don't take the body out. No, you're not allowed to leave a body overnight in Yerushalayim. Yeah, guess what else you're now to do? You're now to jeopardize your life. You don't have to be Moiser Nefesh HaKiddush Hashem to bury someone. So what's the pasuk saying that I'm going to send plague and thereby deliver you to your enemies? How's it going to deliver us to our enemies? So there'll be plague and we won't be able to bury. So we'll wait. No, you're going to take them out and the enemy will be waiting for you. Why would anyone jeopardize their life to bury someone? There's no v'chai bohem. What's Rashi talking about? The only thing I could think of is, you could have many people who they're violating the cardinal sins in the Torah. But the chumrah of not leading a body overnight Yerushalayim, no. They're too frum for that. Maybe they won't learn Torah. Maybe the mak tamidei chachamim. They might even be koifer be'ikr. But a chumrah? No. They'll jeopardize their life to fulfill a chumrah. That you could be sure. Next, then the pasuk says, "V'kashlu ish ba'achiv." Each man will stumble in his brother. Rashi says what? Zen nichshal ba'avoino shel zeh shekol Yisrael arevim zeh b'zeh. Will stumble. I'll be responsible for your sin and vice versa. What? Arvus? There's no Arvus yet. In the Midbar, were the Jewish people Arevim Zelazeh? Absolutely not. Arvus did not begin until they crossed the Yarden, like Rashi says in Nitzavim on the pasuk. Haniglois lanu ulvanenu. Their dots on the word. Arvus did not begin. So what does the pasuk mean? V'kashlu ish ba'achiv. So you say, well, the Toichacha is talking about after they cross the Yarden. I guess you have to say that. Okay. Next. It says, V'zacharti es brisi Yaakov, v'af es brisi Yitzchak, v'af es brisi Avraham ezkar, v'ha'aretz ezkar. Question. Rashi says it's backward. V'zacharti es brisi Yaakov. Rashi says it's backward. Rashi says exactly that Yaakov the Katan, his merit alone is enough, even though he was the smallest. Rashi seems to be bothered. Why mention Yaakov first? He was the smallest. I don't understand Rashi's kasha. No, he wasn't. Yaakov was the greatest. Yaakov was Bechir Shaba'avais. So maybe it's in order. V'zacharti es brisi Yaakov. Yaakov is the greatest. What's Rashi bothered by? Don't we say Yaakov is the greatest of the Avos? Don't we say he's Bechir Shaba'avos? And finally, this is a great one. The whole beginning of Bechukosai is the Teichacha. The stern rebuke of the Torah. The Teichacha. And then all of a sudden, we have a random Parsha of Erechin. If somebody says, I accept upon myself his value, her value, his value, you got to pay X, you got to pay Y, you got to pay Z. What in the world does Erechin got to do with the Teichacha? How did we ever combine these two random subjects, the Teichacha and Erechin? All of these questions are obvious, blatant questions that we, if we're studying the Parsha, we have to at least attempt to have some clear understanding of. Okay, Rabbi, so we're going to take it to the Tefillah Shiur.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.